all such parking lot.
Here, y'all can pass that around. Wait, I give you guys agenda. Yeah. Okay, y'all ready to get started? American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God,
one and indivisible.
Let us pray. Dear God, we just thank you for allowing us to come together today. We just ask your guidance today as we make decisions for the county. We just pray special blessings on our nation, and we just ask that you watch over us. Give us grace, guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, anybody have any questions on the bills that Pam sent us? Questions? Is there a motion?
I move to pay the bills. I'll second it.
Motion and second, to pay the bills. Any further discussion? All in favor? And did y'all review payroll that Kathy sent? Okay, Kathy, you have anything further?
The only thing I have is the changes. We have a few new ones. Beverly Copper, she was elections. So she started on May the 16th. And then Edith Stanley, she did elections May the 16th. And then we have a new corrections officer in the jail, David Salcedo. Yep, Salcedo, on May the 27th. And then Kenneth Flaherty, he's our new field deputy, and he started June the 1st.
Okay,
And I'm going to give you this, Kelly, because she puts it with the.
thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Kathy. All right, do I have a motion for payroll?
Second.
Motion and second to approve payroll. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, item 5, any additions or corrections to our previous Commissioners Court meeting?
No corrections or additions to the regular meeting on May 23rd, 2022, and special meeting May 26th, 2022, and June 7th, 2022.
That's a lot of meetings. Thank you. I expect that to continue. Okay, item 6, any public comments? How that got down there so far. Item 7, consider, discuss, approve any and all items necessary pertaining to the county jail.
Count for today, about 54 inmates, 45 males, 11 females, and we have 7 females that are being housed in Carson County right now.
Thank you. Item 8, consider, discuss, and approve any items necessary pertaining to the county courthouse.
We've got a few. The chairlift scheduled to install the 17th, which is Thursday. Doing the electrical on it, bringing it up to code the next couple of days. Train project, Judge and I had a conference call with Train on May 31st, and we reached an agreement to sign off on the air conditioning and heating project. And it's agreed that nothing was owed from the county or from Train. So that will be 100% complete. And then on the house and jail roof, Our insurance totaled both roofs to help us get a new roof, a better quality roof, more hail resistant. And they pay, they all will pay with recoverable depreciation. The courthouse be $85,875.67. The jail will be $97,586.57. And typically that wouldn't have been totaled, but TAC has a program they're making counties aware of. It's called Roofing Assistance and Resource to help counties update their foam roofs and low quality roofs. And that is to replace roofs with a RFP or RFQ method, which is a lot more hail resistant. It's more like a PVC type roof. So they're trying to get these roofs totaled when they can to get this done. They're not actually doing it, but they got an investment firm that's doing it. And they just started this less than a year ago, helping counties. And they've been helping cities for about 8 years, but I've been talking to them and had some conversations with them, and we'll get us a proposal together to look at. And with bids and everything, and probably within the next couple of weeks, we should have a proposal back. And we don't have to accept it, but it's something we need to look at.
We can look at it. Okay, great. Thank you.
And the generator, it's still down. Couldn't find a transfer switch. They're back ordered for 9 months. So finally found a used one that the electrician's got. He's gonna put it on there to get us up and running. So at least we'll work.
Good.
We can get our new switch in. I think that's all I got right now.
And the used one's coming in this week, we hope.
Huh?
The used one's coming in this week.
Yeah, it should be put in the next 2 or 3 days.
Good.
So we need to get here and put it in. So it'll be up and running.
Okay. Good deal. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Okay, item 9 is to consider and or approve renewal of property insurance. Y'all have that. We've had it for a while. And have y'all been able to look over that list? And Alicia, do you have anything to add on that?
No, just the increase is 100% attributed to the rise in replacement costs.
Did it-
Really a whole lot to do.
Did anybody see anything we could take off? I mean, I don't think if we do take it off, it's going to make that big of a difference because the rates are so low.
Did you ever look into the McCormick House thing or?
We talked about it, Alicia and I did, but that's just merely replacement or cost, and
It's not worth.
it's, no, probably not.
Well, and that part of it is only, it costs the county $330. So if there's a hailstorm that comes in and we need to replace the roof, then we're not gonna be able to
No.
replace the roof
Agree with that.
for $330.
The only other question we had was the annex.
And like I.
Again,
These are not the fair market values of each property. These are the replacement costs. So
right,
if you were to get a total loss, that's what they would give you to replace that building.
I think we should leave it. Anybody have anything else on the property insurance? Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to keep the property insurance like it is.
Okay, we have a motion and second for the property insurance. Any further discussion on that? All in favor? Okay. All right, item 10 is a discussion on the renewal of the county's liability insurance policy. So this doesn't have to be actually decided on, but did y'all have a chance to look over that? And I think everybody got their inventories back to you, correct?
Yes.
Did we take it?
We just need to decide the coverage amounts, if we want to make any changes to the coverage, so that I can get it over to tax so that they can give us an actual quote on insurance.
Okay.
And it looks like we've in the past had auto liability at 100,000, 200,000, and 100,000 for liability. And we've had $5,000 in personal injury protection. And then uninsured motorists, we've had the 30, 60, 25. And I just wanted to know if we wanted to keep that. Those are the minimum amounts. And I just wanted to make sure that we didn't want to try to up it, which I don't, I think it's.
I would say keep it the same.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'd say.
You will be getting the quotes on the full coverage for the auto also.
I emailed our representative to see if she could quote me just like everything is right now, but I have not heard back from her. I did make kind of a little spreadsheet that shows what we have under full coverage and what we just have under liability. I'm not gonna give you one so that I can.
Got it. I got it on here.
So this just shows all of the vehicles and the trailers that we have. The ones that are highlighted in light blue are the ones that we have under full coverage. Everything else is basically just liability insurance. On the second page, the ones listed in red, I found aren't insured at all. We probably need to at least move them on liability
Yeah.
if they're, because they're higher valued. And then the ones that I put in yellow are things that probably could be added to full coverage because they're driven quite regularly.
I'd like to get quotes on I think this goes back through the 18-year models, correct? Roughly. So
I don't know.
if we could go through I don't know how many, that's not gonna be very many to get through the 17 and 16-year models. It only adds about 4, 5. But last year we put on $12,000 to add vehicles on, and it's paid us back, I don't know, 18, 19,000 or something, or 18.
Yes, we've had a couple of claims and we've gotten back,
We got a lot more than the premium was.
right.
I'd like to at least go back through the 17-year models, 16-year models. Of course, all the big trucks are full coverage.
I know the airport has one car that they're not using because it won't run. I've got another one that's about there.
Right, and he has marked those on his, I sent out a list to each department that has vehicles so that they can make any changes or let me know of anything. So I will include that whenever I send off for the quote, I will let them know of the changes.
Oh,
Yeah, if it doesn't run, I don't think we need insurance.
no, I don't think they.
Is it gonna just be disposed of or is it gonna be repaired?
We need to do something with it. So just say,
Yeah, I know. It's just there. So, and they got another one that's close, so might have to get some kind of vehicle for them, even if it's used.
Well, it's in his budget to do all that.
what do they have that is usable?
Oh, well, they've got a Chevy pickup, 2007 Crown Victoria, 1991 Ford. No, that's fuel trucks. 96 Ford Crown Victoria. And then they've got that van, 2003 Chevy Venture van.
Okay, so we're going to check on coverage through 2016.
At least 16.
Okay,
It wouldn't, when they give you a quote, they can give it all of them, and we can just pick which ones we want to
Yeah, I
add.
can have her do that.
And then see how many dollars that ends up being.
okay.
Do you wanna like do it through a certain year model or do you want to do it based on those that are, I mean, 'cause So say, you know, there's a truck that's a 2009, but it's out on the road every day.
I don't know. I mean, they can give a quote, then you can just pick up, then you see how many dollars premium that's gonna be.
We want to get a quote on full coverage for all of the vehicles.
And then add on those vehicles that's not being covered on liability. Oh, that old fire truck is not even, it never moves, so, I don't know about the other one, why they're not liability.
93.
It's two for the sheriff's department for a 2012 and a 2013, it's not even liability. Probation, Ford Explorer. I don't know. That one used to be on.
I don't know if they just look through the cracks in previous years. And then we also have the general liability insurance. We got the minimum of 100, 300, and 100. And we want to keep that percentage.
I would say so.
And then the public officials, we have the minimum $2 million for public official liability.
Sure.
I would say so.
And then the law enforcement liability, we also have $2 million coverage.
Keep it the same.
Yes. Right. And when do we have to have this in? Just before?
We have to have it in within 30 days. I need to get it in by the 19th of June to get the quote, the renewal.
Oh.
We're not to make.
Right.
Get this information back to them so that they
Okay.
can process
Okay,
a
good.
proposal. I guess.
Okay.
I'll actually get that back today and I'll have them go ahead and just add everything onto the coverage.
The auto policy is October 1.
Yeah, it's
It goes
October 1 date.
October 1.
Any more discussion on that? Alicia, you good? All right, item 11 is to consider and or approve health insurance renewal for 2022, 2023. Got all the emails from Kathy and Amy that Charlotte sent, as well as the figures that they sent. So anything else to add, Kathy?
It's just whatever, however much of an increase y'all want.
So TAC has given us a 9.3% increase on our insurance, which, what did they say the average was?
15 to 20.
So, I mean,
I'm sorry, that's without being taxed.
right,
The average was
7?
five or 6, 7.
Yeah, something. So we are a little above average, of course, because our claims are greater than our premiums that we pay. So, and again, we talked to Charlotte, and Charlotte has said that while we can go out for some bids, and did we ask her to?
We did. She hasn't, she's on vacation.
Right,
She
that,
didn't actually, she wasn't going out for bids. She was gonna
Get
get
some
some her other agent.
what'd she call it, workover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Market. thing or
Market, yeah,
And she does that for us
every year, of which they come back quite high.
Yeah.
So we
Or
are,
maybe they just don't want.
or they don't bid us at all.
They'll give us a letter, but
Right.
they're not gonna come down. They're not gonna have rates cheaper.
That will be comparable to what we've got. So we just need to make a decision on what the county wants to do as far as,
If you want to pay the employee, or if you want to pay the employee independent, or, Charlotte even suggested cutting the HSA on the dependents.
I just gonna throw this out there and see what y'all think, but it's, county absorbs the employee cost. The dependents absorb their own costs, and retirees, and leave the HSA contribution where it's at for the employee, but cut the dependent HSA contribution.
completely or?
Yeah, I think would be completely.
So the.
So it'd be down to
Okay, so being
1,500 straight across
For
for
employees.
inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
so-
think?
I agree with the 1,500.
Okay, so Ben, if, what you're talking about is the county paying the increase on the employees' coverage only.
Right,
Okay, if we do that and we don't pay the increase on the dependents, then the increase to the county is 127,292. And then you're also talking about cutting dependent HSA. So you would cut 22,500 off of that.
Which gives us a net increase of what?
100,000 and something.
Still an awful lot.
that would have been my recommendation also.
And what'd you say about retirees? They pay their own, they pick up their own
They
increase?
gotta pick up their own.
Okay, so let me make sure I'm right on this.
Yeah, because that'll save some more
I don't like that, but we gotta do something.
Right. I mean,
So
there's,
you're looking at an increase of
Gonna win.
104,792 approximate. Because you always need to keep in mind too, I mean, because we're paying out right now, well, with the increase, if the county picks up the increase on the employee, on the HSA a year, with that 1,500 on them, that on the employee. Okay, so it cost us 14,172. Okay, that's what it costs for the employee. On the copay, it's 14,124. So there's a difference of $47. That's all. I mean, and we try to keep it fair, or y'all have in the past tried to keep it fairly close or whatever, But so that would be the difference in that. So, but you're talking about cutting the HSA, so that's not gonna change anything on that, because I didn't add in dependents on that.
Not cutting for employees, but cutting for everyone else, HSA contribution.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So with that amount, that increase, so that's, we pay out, what did I say, 14,000 a year. So we have currently, I believe, 8 employees that do not take either any of the insurance because they've got spouse insurance or something like that. But you always have to remember, you could, when we have open enrollment in August, they could come on.
Correct.
So that's a big increase to the county there, but that's part of it.
right,
Yeah, they have the option every year to either go off or come on. We don't usually have anybody go off, but we do have people every now and then that come on. We have a few that, I think they're in the sheriff's department. They've got a couple that are under 26 and maybe they're still on their parents or something. Well, they will come off if they, one of these days if they stay here, so. And then we'll have to start paying on them. Did that make sense to you, Kelly? You're looking at me kind of.
I'm just listening.
So I think if you did what's been presented, I think you would be looking at, because right now, let me get my sheet on the HSA. On the HSA, we pay $1,500 on dependents a year, and that is $22,500.
I agree. I like what Ben said. That would be my recommendation as well.
Mine also. Anybody else have a thought?
So what do we do? Do we motion or move or just say that's where we're going?
No, we gotta have a motion.
Okay, so I didn't know, because we talked that we would do it at the end, but we
Well,
need to-
Well, we've got to make a decision today on
Yeah,
this.
it'd be better if you made it today, because we
Yeah.
need to let TAC know. We
Okay.
have until the end of the month, but.
Okay,
the sooner we
that's-
let TAC
that's what I was
It's-
wondering.
Yeah, if we can make a decision today, we
If we
should.
make a motion, we need to state every one of those things we're.
Yes, you do. And then what we'll have our open enrollment in August, like we normally do. And then we'll send out our sheets that state what the new rate is gonna be. And, you know, the employees can stay on at that time or keep their dependents on at that time. Or they'll have the option, you know, we'll send that out, here this next month, because we want them to have the option if they want to look elsewhere for dependent
Right.
coverage or something. Our rates though on children, if you had one child, it might be a little high, but if you had several, it's not a bad rate, but our spouse rate is pretty high.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to the county absorb the increase for employees. Spouse and dependents absorb their own increase to the premium. The HSA contribution to employees stays the same, and the HSA contribution for spouse and dependents is cut, no longer paid. And
Retirees.
retirees are no longer paid HSA contributions.
I'll second.
And they absorb their own increase
They
also.
absorb their own increase to the retirees also.
So what you're looking at is, just so, I mean, I know you know, because you've looked at this, but you're looking at on children, the increase was gonna be $58 a month. So if you have your child on, you're gonna have to pay that 58 a month,
Correct,
and you're gonna get 125 less a month.
correct. That's all right.
Yes. Okay. Have a motion. Do I have a second? And a second. Any further discussion on the health insurance? All in favor?
Then y'all get those forms for you to initial.
Yes. Thank you. All right, item 12 is to consider and or approve policy for spending by a lame duck official. So this was kind of all over my listserv, and I talked to Leisha and Kathy to see if we actually had a policy, and we don't. And so it might be advantageous to us, although we have some really great employees. They just recommended, Jim Allison, who's our legal counsel, recommended that every county have this in place. And it basically says in section 130908 of the local government code, it's referred to as the lame duck statute, and it allows the commissioner's court to set an amount over which expenditures may be approved for incumbent county and precinct officials who were not, who didn't run again, or maybe who lost in the election. So his recommendation, from what I saw on my listserv, was 25% of the budgeted line item is common.
Is it that they can only spend that, or they can't spend more than that?
Been more than that without commissioner.
Without commissioner court approval.
Because I did visit with Jan just a little bit, Barnes,
Right.
and
And-
her only concern, she probably visited with.
Yes, she did.
Was they're gonna order supplies and so Kelly And I said, well, you'll just, if it goes over that,
My recommendation was just to, even though Kelly hasn't officially taken office, is to just have her initial off on that she's aware as the
Oh.
incumbent,
oh,
that-
I got you.
the person coming into the office, that this is being spent out of what will be budgeted
So
for
you
her.
don't want them to come to the court, get approval?
Probably, yes, that too, but also just to make because it's always good to have
Sure.
that,
You're saying do both.
yes.
Get an initial.
Mhm.
I
Because
agree
it's in the
I agree with
policy,
that.
so if it's gonna be
Yes.
in a policy, then they need to do whatever's in the policy.
Right.
I think that's a
Can
good
you
idea.
send me a copy
Yeah.
of that policy?
Yeah, I've just I don't have an
Oh.
actual written policy, but
Okay.
it just was some suggestions, but we can talk about it.
So 25% of the line item.
Mhm. Anything over that,
I
then needs
misread
to
it
have
when I
commissioner's
first read that.
court.
I thought it was 25% of the budget, but
Oh,
I see you now.
right, of the line item,
That I was like, okay, that makes better sense.
the budgeted line.
Yes.
So to approve the policy, do we have to get it in writing first, or can we just?
I think we can approve it with that 25%, and then we can write up something pretty simple.
And just bring it back to
I
the
think
court
it would be
prepared.
best, so now you know what number, to actually get a written policy and then.
And then we can bring it
Yeah.
back and actually
That's-
approve it.
That's what
So
I would.
we can decide on an amount and then get an actual written policy. I'll bring it back next
Yeah,
time.
that sounds good.
And will this start with the budget starting October 1st or right now?
I would say when it passed.
I mean, I agree with it. I think it's a good idea.
When I first heard about it, I thought y'all were joking, that lame duck.
No, that's what they call it. a lame duck statute.
I thought they were just making up something.
Sounds funny.
Yeah.
I'll make,
It's a little
a motion-
unprofessional.
No, I like,
I'll make a motion, we accept 25% over on the line item.
Okay.
Or nothing over 25%.
Okay,
I second it.
motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? And Sheila, or Alicia and I'll get together, right? Write up a good sounded,
Never been Sheila.
Sheila. Sheila.
Alicia, but never Sheila.
I told her Alicia.
Well, you just answered anything.
And I didn't know her.
Okay, thank
I've
you.
been Alicia for Alicia.
All right, item 13 is to consider and or approve interlocal agreement with Carson County for housing inmates. Captain Sepulveda brought this to me. I don't think we've actually had a formal written policy, right? Or we did maybe at one time, but we needed a,
It was probably before me if we had one. I know we've had local ones with like police departments,
right.
not another county.
So this is just for them housing our inmates, which, as y'all heard, they've got quite a few of them right now. And it said the daily rate's 40, right? So that's not a bad rate considering what so many of the other jails are charging around here.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
We,
60, a
it's
lot.
about 60 everywhere else.
Well, that's maybe an average.
Well, and we're 93 or $95.
Oh, if we had the house, we would be $93.
If we housed for somebody else, that's what we would charge. Or that's what we should, there's a formula
Okay.
we specifically use for when we house illegal immigrants. That's where most of ours come from, or did come from.
And who pays that?
Immigration is supposed to. I don't know how.
Do we ever actually get a
how far
check
it
from?
actually goes. But there's a formula for it. It's whatever your budget is. Divided by some.
Capacity and-
You come up with that
Okay.
number. Usually what counties charge each other is less
Right.
than that actual number. Before, we've always kind of just operated on a good old voice system. We do a favor for them, they do a favor for us. Or we might do a transport for them if we're going somewhere and they've got an inmate. But we've had to house so many over there lately that we need to actually be paying for our inmates to be housed over there.
Yeah.
We're housing inmates over there because we're full, right?
Yes, we don't have enough room for female inmates. We can comfortably house 11. Over the last weekend before I took these females over there, we had 20. I don't know what's going on, and we have so many more females, but the last 6 months it has picked up significantly. And If I have over 11, then I have to take housing units away from male inmates. There's only 2 very small areas that we do that because they're tanks and dorms, so just it is what it is for the way we're set up. This isn't a problem that I see going away anytime soon either. We don't have.
Is Carson County's jail bigger?
They're smaller. The thing is, most of they house 48, but they usually, their average is in the low 20s.
Hmm.
Most of their people are people that get busted that are coming through the interstate,
Hmm.
and they get out pretty quick.
So there's just a little, and maybe I'm misreading it, but on assurance, item C says any changes regarding price or cost shall be agreed upon by Armstrong County Commissioners and Carson County Commissioners.
Okay, I may have forwarded the wrong one. Yeah, he corrected that, and the one I have.
Which one were you looking at? Mine says Hutchinson County. Maybe I sent you the old one.
Oh, okay.
I didn't rescan it.
That's what
I didn't rescan it.
I got the same.
Yeah, okay.
Mine's correct.
And Craig has,
Well, I don't mind
Okay, good.
I don't mind Armstrong County dealing with our stuff, but
they don't
They're
even
gonna
have
pay
it.
it.
They don't even have a
If they're
jail,
not-
so.
we'll ask
This is
Enzi to
the
pay
same
it.
exact contract they have for Carson, for Armstrong County,
Right.
because their jail has shut down.
Right.
So all of the Armstrong County inmates go directly to Carson County.
Hmm.
Well, I like it. I'm glad you did it. So,
We're fortunate that we have them because most places, they're probably the only jail that has the room to house other inmates.
Hmm.
well, thank you for thinking of it.
Yes.
I move to enter into the interlocal agreement with Carson County in regards to contract for housing inmates for
I'll second.
Hutchinson County.
Second.
Do I talk too much? Yeah. From you.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, great. Thanks, Captain Sepulveda. Appreciate you. All right, item 14 is to consider and or approve the Pitney Bowes lease agreement. I think Alicia's got us a new postage machine, right?
Yes. When I came on, it was brought to my attention that the one we have is too big for what we need. And so I have been speaking with our sales rep and he got me a proposal on a couple of different units. I spoke with Mary's office. She's actually one of the ones who brought it to my attention. She kind of helps maintain it. And so we found the smaller one. It's going to be a $328 monthly investment versus our current $410 monthly investment. So it's going to be a savings of about $82 per month. The contract would start after 8/30/22. And it is a 60-month term. They have a contract with the state of Texas. So I had Craig Jones go over the agreement, all it is, he said everything looks fine. I just need to get approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Pitney Bowes new contracts on the smaller machine.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, thanks. All right, item 15 is to consider and approve any ARP grant projects, but we don't have any today.
When's the next ARP meeting?
Well, we're gonna, we have it scheduled, right, for the 21st. So we'll move forward after that. All right, item 16 is to consider and or approve the burn ban or rescind the burn ban. And we lifted the burn ban on, was it Thursday? Thursday. So, because we had quite a bit of moisture and, well, for us, and people were needing to burn a little bit.
We got numerous phone calls of people needing to burn some trash. We actually had a couple of nuisance abatements that are nuisance properties that came in because trash was blowing throughout other people's yards and people were trying to get some stuff burned. So we had our drought index actually dropped down into the 360s with the rain that we got. And normally we look at dropping the burn ban when it hits under the 400 mark. So we did so we dropped the burn ban for that short period of time. It put out there that we didn't know how long we'll be able to keep this going, but currently right now our drought index is at 379. So keeping track of that every day, especially with these hot, drier temperatures, it's gonna increase. Right now it's about 13 points a day. It's going up. Burn ban. What I'd recommend right now is we leave it off, and once we hit that, if we get close to that 450 mark is about when we try to implement the burn ban back. If that comes to a point where we get to that number before a commissioner's court, the judge can do an emergency order to put it in play, and we have 7 days to ratify that with the commissioner's court at that point. So if we get to that number quickly, then we can do that. That's what I recommend right now. The people, we're getting, I think Thursday and Friday, we had over 50 people calling to do control burns for trash and stuff. Catch 6 months of burns.
Okay, thanks, Trey. So no action on that. All right, item 17 is to consider and or approve an order to ban restricted fireworks for the 4th of July holiday period. You want to address that? I sent you all some information, didn't I? Did I send y'all? Oh, sorry. I probably meant to and I didn't.
So with the state law, we have a certain time frame that we can do a restriction on fireworks if we meet a couple of, if we meet the criteria to do so. In the state of Texas, the only way we can do a restrictions on fireworks, full restriction on fireworks, if we're under a disaster declaration. There is 2 counties in the Panhandle that are still under a disaster declaration, Potter and Randall County. We think they're doing some firework restriction, but Hudson County was not listed in that disaster declaration. So we fall under the basic criteria of fireworks restriction. We have to hit a drought index of 575 or higher to do any restrictions on sticks or fans within the county. Like I said, right now our drought index is a 379. So technically we can't do a restriction on fireworks.
And we have until tomorrow, I think. What is today? Oh, no, we have till the 15th, but we have to make a decision today and we don't meet the guidelines.
So if big stays dry till July 4th.
We can't make it.
Tomorrow, we can't change that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, put that order in place before.
Before June the 15th.
We don't know what the weather's gonna be.
I know. Right.
I don't know
But
what's gonna be tomorrow.
That's what they allow us because it's a legal holiday.
There's certain holidays that you have to follow these regulations. Some other holidays, it's at the commissioner's court to apply for that permit, if you want to say, but where you can sell on certain other holidays, but 4th of July, the most holidays that we're under specific guidelines by the state. Restrictions.
Well, I know I called the judge, and Jerry, thank y'all for answering my question about these things. And then talking about it publicly, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we definitely been getting a lot of phone calls from the fire chiefs and all that, and just explaining how this process works, and so it's gotta stick within
The guidelines.
I learned a lot. Thank you.
So we hope everyone uses,
If it don't rain anymore, it could be really.
Yeah, it could be. yeah, but we just hope everyone uses their best judgment.
Okay.
Just every year on a Facebook post, text and calls, it's about July 2nd.
Right. Yeah,
That's all you can do.
that's what we're allowed to do within the law. Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right, thank you, Jerry. All right, item 18, consider and approve disposal of obsolete office equipment. We have a couple of things. One from Judge Rodriguez for some printers and computer towers, speakers and things that are either not working or they just don't use anymore. And then also a touchscreen monitor from the jail.
Motion to approve disposal of this item.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Item 19, accept certificates of completion from elected or appointed officials.
Craig Jones of the county attorney submitted attendance to the 2022 Civil Law Conference, beating the backlog, a more productive prosecutor's office, and lawyer well-being, how the practice of gratitude blusters.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Item 20, consider and/or approve request for the use of the club rooms at the Border Library or French.
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Okay. 21, consider and/or approve line item changes, transfers, and/or budget amendments. And y'all should have got this information, right? Okay.
So, we had a budget amendment to the law library. We've received law library funds. The revenue side of it was budgeted, but the expenditure side was never budgeted. So this just adds the expenditure side of that budget for those fees that we have received. And then there's another amendment for the ARP to add all of the new projects that were approved by the ARP committee and the commissioner's court.
Okay.
And then there is another amendment to amend the library maintenance for Borger for a grant that they received to do the LED lighting project. And then there's just some various budget transfers for the jail. They moved some money from their building maintenance into their groceries. The airport moved some from their building maintenance to their grant line item and their materials for resale. And then the juvenile department moved some from residential detention to detention pre-post. And then the maintenance department for the annex moved some money from their capital improvements to their maintenance and equipment line item for the repair of their roof.
Okay. Any questions for Alicia? Have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the amendments and transfers.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? And I'm going to pass this around if everyone will sign it. Alicia. All right, item 22, consider and/or approve advertising, opening, accepting, or awarding bids.
I actually have two requests for bids from Dwayne Road and Bridge. We need to go out for bid for the aggregate for Seal Coat project, and also for asphalt for Seal Coat projects. He stated we usually don't have any bids that come in, but for grant, whenever he gets state and federal grants, they ask that we go out for bid anyway, even if we don't receive it.
Even if we don't have any, okay.
So we just receive approval to advertise for those.
I'll make a motion to go out for bids, for two stated items.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
I would like to ask for court permission, even though it's not going to be over the 50,000 mark. I have, I'm aware that I have $12,000 in my capital improvement. And we need new cabinets and a sink in the club room at the library. And I really don't even know where I would start or who I would contact with that. And so I would like, it's going to be well under the
Are you
12,000.
are you
I'd like
gonna-
to get some bids on it?
Try to submit that as an ARP project?
No, it's in our capital improvement
Oh.
for the library.
Okay.
I know some people's asked me to submit it to the ARP, but I mean, it's cabinets and a sink and it's a little bitty club room. I don't know how much it'll be. I don't want to spitball. I'd like to get some bids on it. So I know I don't have to ask, but I just want to.
Go for it.
Okay,
You got
Do it.
permission, Dwight.
thank you.
We're building cabinets for the annex.
Oh, you are? Who do y'all use it?
I can I can tell you who that is,
Okay.
have them give you a bid.
I would love that.
It's hard to get anybody to
Right.
bid on that
I
stuff.
don't even know who to ask.
Yeah,
honestly.
so-
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you,
Okay,
Gary.
I'll tell you after court then.
Okay.
All right, item 23 is to consider under approved donations to Hutchinson County. Ready? Anybody? Andy? Come on, help us out here.
Open your wallet. Okay.
You got nothing. Item 24, accept reports from elected or appointed officials.
May 2022 reports were submitted by Jan Barnes, County Clerk, Robin Stroud, District Clerk, Leslie Ford, Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, Yadi Rodriguez, Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, Library and the Library. Kathy Sargent, Treasurer, submitted May 2022 financial report. Tax pool rate on June 9th, 2022 was 0.7419%. Dwayne Chisholm, Road Superintendent, submitted written report May 23rd, 2022 through June 12th, 2022.
Thank you. Item 25, discussion of county judges and commissioners precinct daily operations. Anybody?
They're started on the runway, chewing it up, getting it ready. So won't be long. They had a rain delay, but.
Thank goodness.
I know.
Right?
And of course, I'll be bringing it to court later, but we got a discussion with Apollo this afternoon
Okay.
about putting their own fuel tank out there. And there's restrictions, and of course, they have to buy the fuel from us and different things. So Jerry and I'll talk to him and see, and then we'll probably come to the court with recommendation.
Okay.
We're gonna call open range at the museum. We had another, when the storms come in from the north, we have water that comes in from the backside, from the alley side. So we had open range out there before, and they can't tell why, because the museum back there, it's 5 foot below the ground, the building is. And so the way that was built, we had open range out there and they can't figure it out. So we're gonna get them out there again. All we can do is mop it up and clean it up, because that building's several feet below the ground line, which is not efficient.
You've had trouble with that for quite a while, haven't
It's
you?
been before I even got in office.
Yeah.
But it never happens until the storms come from the north, right there where that alley meets that drop off. So
Yeah.
they've sealed it, and open range still can't find it. So we'll keep trying.
Okay.
Well, it's not really a daily report, but I do want to go on record that whoever is dumping out in Lake Meredith Harbor, I have a technique.
I should stop.
Mhm. We will find you, basically. We are going to find you.
You're on a mission.
You're on it, are you?
I have a plan.
Okay.
Yes. If y'all see me dressed in black hiding in the bushes, just keep driving.
Here, get your
Yeah,
ammo
you
on.
don't want to see that. Yeah. I do some ninja rolls.
Okay, anything else? Anybody got anything else on that? Okay. Item 26 is to consider and or approve the sale of struck off tax properties and tax deeds. We have one, which is a counter offer. So we approved the original, but one of the other taxing entities came back with a counter, and this is located, I think, in that Retreat Del Plano area. And it's a counter offer of $250 per lot with a total of $1,500 has been made by Lorna C. and Leslie P. Lincoln of Borger. Taxes haven't been paid since '87. They were struck off and they were appraised at $630 per lot. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was just, we had approved the original bid, but one of the other taxing entities came back with the counter. And so the people who submitted the bid came back with the counter offer. That was approved.
Is that yours?
Like they accepted. the
Yes,
counter.
retreated up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they accepted.
We accepted their original.
Original.
But some other entity. And
Said-
what'd you say they want? 250?
$250
Okay. So I move to approve 250.
per lot.
Per lot.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay. Okay, the next item on the agenda is just budget work session for budget 2022, 2023. It's that time of year. And Leisha has sent out a awesome Excel spreadsheet to everybody, so they could just fill in their budget requests and send them back to her. And where are we at with that?
I think I've gotten pretty much everybody's back.
Was today the deadline?
Today is the deadline.
Is the deadline.
Yes, today is
So,
the deadline.
If you're listening, there's hardly anyone else, but maybe they're watching on YouTube.
Maybe.
Make sure you get with Leisha today and get that back to her. We got to have them
I
back.
sent out a reminder one day last week, so.
Yes.
But I do basically have everybody's, I'm going to put it all in kind of a master spreadsheet that I can.
We can look over
We can
and
look
give
over it.
everybody a copy, and then we can start looking over it and see. And of course, we don't have any certified values back and won't get those probably till July. So, but we can start looking at it as soon as everybody gets their budget requests in and we get that spreadsheet. Well, I talk like I'm going to do something. Leisha gets
I'll
that.
probably also get some preliminary revenue, tax revenue before July. I don't
Right.
wanna wait.
Right, yeah, we should have that, so. So today basically is just that information. Hopefully by next meeting, we'll have some more concrete budget requests. And then if any of the department wants to come and talk to us about their budget, explain, or back up their request, then they can come do that. Anything else on that? You guys have any questions? All right, does anybody have anything else?
I was just gonna point out, I think everybody heard me, but I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I gave you all a copy of the 2021 audit report. He's gonna be here on the 27th to deliver the report, but he said that I could go ahead and pass it out so that y'all can look over it, so that if y'all got any questions for when he's here.
That's John Maris, if y'all remember him from last year, from our county firm. Meeting adjourned.
Motion?
Yes.
Oh, did I get a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll say.
All right, go ahead, second.
Let's make it official.
All in favor?